Light is an intelligent young man whose world is thrown upside down when he discovers the Death Note, a sinister book which grants him the power to kill whoever's name is written in its deadly pages. The power of a god sits at the tip of his pen, a scratch of ink all he needs to take a life, and with this newfound ability he takes it upon himself to rid the world of those that would cause evil. But can he survive his biggest challenges yet? Prom night, girlfriend troubles, and parents who don't understand him. So get ready for thrills and chills and spills with a movie that's sexy, edgy, and relatable as the CW presents Death Note in association with Netflix. Okay, let's take a moment to talk about adaptations. And when I say a moment, I mean a super long amount of time while I ramble analytically and completely devoid of the unintelligible Geordie swearing and ripping on Death Note you actually came for. So if you just want to hear all that, skip to this point in the video. Otherwise, here comes an essay. Woo! So I'm probably in the minority when it comes to adaptations. I want my films to be different to the source material. I don't get when people are annoyed when a scene gets changed or something plays out a little differently when something they love makes a transition to the big screen. Well, I mean, I get it when they make it much, much worse, but I know a lot of people who are at their happiest when a film just adds visuals to pre-existing words. That's boring. The book already exists, just read the book. Books, manga, anime, comics, films, games, they're all different storytelling formats. What works in one doesn't work in another. Like, if you'll allow me to continue this tangent, let's look at Watchmen for a second. There's a moment in the comic where the pages appear perfectly symmetrical, and this narratively does a good few things. The controlled layout could be seen to emphasize the calm, controlled and methodical nature of the Ozymandias character on which this chapter focuses. The recurring use of symmetry helps solidify the theme of unification that runs through the story. The center panel, a striking moment of bloody violence, stands out more because the rest of the page is so delicately laid out, and then, boom! A smack in the jaw right in the middle of the page disrupts the whole order of it all. Now let's look at how the film handles this. It's just a fight. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's all it is. It's just a panel by panel recreation of the scrap. Very faithful to the plot and visuals, but certainly loses something in the format change. Now, other than the ending, Watchmen is extremely faithful to the graphic novel's plot, almost to a fault. Now let's compare this with another comic adaptation, Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim, taken from a purely plot-based interpretation, is an extremely unfaithful adaptation. It changes key scenes, it condenses 7 whole books into just one short runtime. The entire third act is completely different as it was made before the 7th title in the series was even out, and yet I'd argue that personally for me, it's not only a better film but a better adaptation, because while it doesn't capture the plot of its source material anywhere near as closely as Snyder's Watchmen, it captures something else. While the plot may be different, the themes and ideas are the same, and Edgar Wright, when making Scott Pilgrim, clearly utilised the change from print to a film format to create new techniques that adapt the energy of the books. Onomatopoeia that's often a necessity in comics to give images a sense of sound and movement are brought in as stylized animations in the film that make the movie feel like a living comic book and give it a unique identity and style we hadn't necessarily seen before. Sharp cuts and clever digital transitions are used to capture the panel-to-panel movement in a way that's different to the source material but matches the energy of the quick pace of a comic. The film utilises and adapts comic book techniques consistently. Stuff like speed lines, still imagery, panelling all make an appearance, albeit in this new animated film format, and despite major changes to the narrative, missing scenes and reordering of sequences, there's never a moment where the Scott Pilgrim movie doesn't feel 100% like Scott Pilgrim. Watchmen perfectly captures its source material's plot. Scott Pilgrim perfectly captures its source material's essence. And I suppose that's my main point in a nutshell, really. When you're doing an adaptation, it should be sort of like a balancing act. Change things as much as you want, as long as you respect what you're adapting. This is why even Stephen King says the ending to the Mist film is better than the book he wrote. This is why even though the Shining movie is almost fuck all like the plot of the book, no one cares, and it still often goes down as one of the greatest horror classics of our time. Unless you ask Stephen King again, but I guess he can't please everyone. This is why Lord of the Rings works, and the Hobbit sequels don't. This is why people love Fight Club, The Princess Bride, multiple different takes on Dracula and Frankenstein. All of these films resonate through the ages, in spite of massive changes. And yet something like the shot-for-shot colour remake of Psycho is just shite. And yet, adaptation-wise, technically, it's totally the exact same thing. Which brings us to Death Note. Now, this movie had a lot of negative press surrounding it before it was even out. Lots of cries of, it's different, and they changed things. But as far as I was concerned, I already have 3 really great visual versions of the Japanese Death Note story, so I was actually cautiously excited for this thing. After all, it couldn't be worse than that live-action daytime TV drama they did, which inexplicably turned a major character into a puppet because... I don't know, he was just a puppet all of a sudden. Why? Can you imagine, like, if the Harry Potter movies did that? Like, everything was the exact same, but Ron was just a puppet? Why the fuck is he a puppet? Even if he wasn't, at one point, a major character, it still wouldn't make sense. Like, even if it was a minor role, like, if Marvel had another Stan Lee cameo and were like, hey, in this one, he's a puppet, I'd still go, why is that man a puppet? Why the fuck is that man a puppet? Whatever, I'm getting real sidetracked on this puppet shit. Anyway, point is, Netflix have a pretty good track record for originals, and they attached Adam Wingard, who had in the past put out some good shit. So I'm looking at this movie thinking, I'm not worried. What could go wrong? Everything. Everything could go wrong. I think pre-production must have started with Netflix finding an actual Death Note, turning to a blank page and scribbling down the words everything you've ever loved, because boy, those things sure are dead and buried now. The best thing I can say for it is that it's not horrible. Taken on its own, it might even be okay as a silly dumb teen movie. It's about on par with, say, Final Destination 4, and would be mostly harmless and mindlessly entertaining afternoon filler if it wasn't such a terrible adaptation. As I've already stated, I'm fine with changes in an adaptation, but only if they're for the better and or equally as good and respect the essence of the source material. Netflix's Death Note does none of those things. Hell, its biggest problem is that it's not even in the same genre as the thing it's adapting. Death Note is a sodden psychological thriller. That's kind of its thing. You know, morally grey characters, ideological clashes, mystery and mind games. This shit is fucking Riverdale. And that could almost be forgiven. Like, I guess it could have rolled into the young adult stuff and been some kind of fun metatextual gag that satirises Western adaptations in general, but this motherfucker still thinks it's Death Note. It repeats a shit ton of key plot beats from the manga and anime without any of the appreciation of the context that made these moments clever or special. Let's just compare one moment as an example. For those of you that haven't seen or read the original, I will warn you an early episode / volume spoiler is inbound, and I do recommend you watch or read the original before I say this because the whole thing is fucking awesome and you should totally check it out before hearing this. But if you don't care or you've already seen it, there's a scene where L, Light's genius detective nemesis, reveals himself for the first time. He puts an American actor posing as him on screen, claims to be broadcasting the conference worldwide, and when that actor dies, this effectively does multiple things. 1. Demonstrates L's intelligence. 2. Demonstrates L's moral grey area. 3. Narratively proves of Light's killing power to a world that couldn't be certain the deaths weren't a freak coincidence. And 4. Localises the central conflict to a single city when the broadcast is revealed to have only went out on networks local to the site of the first killing. Smart stuff that says a lot about the characters, ideas, and themes. Here's how the Netflix film handles it. Here, I'm Geet literally L. Here, murderer lad. Strike is down. Howie, I'm waiting. Ha! No, you can't, can you? Whoa, pure outsmarted you like with me Geet face scarf. That's it. He just shouts at a camera. No intricacy, no subtlety, no complexity. Just some nutter covering his face screaming about sky murderers. What does this even achieve in this narrative? It makes L look foolish despite the film constantly telling us he's a genius. It doesn't even prove anything. Like in this Netflix version, it's still a perfectly plausible argument for the public at large to have a theory that the killer isn't real and the deaths are just a coincidence. The anime L proves the Kira killer is real. That's a huge narrative step. But anyone can run out in the street and shout that gob off challenging a possibly fictional murderer.
Get out here, Ted Cruz! I know you're the Zodiac killer, you incest porn-watching wank gremlin!
See? To be fair to the film, it's not all doom and gloom. They absolutely nail the death god Ryuk, who gifts the protagonist with the titular book. Willem Dafoe's turn as that demonic entity is fantastic, and there's definitely other things to like about it, like, Did I mention everybody in this film is stupid? I know I've already griefed Elle a bit, but actually everybody in this, besides Ryuk, is a grade A idiot. Let's take a look at our main character, Light Turner. Fuck it, let's just call him Chad. Let's take a look at Chad here. What does Chad do when he gets this ultimate weapon that must be kept a secret or he could face prison time? Hide it with an elaborate fail-safe system only he knows how to work? Nah. He just reads it in broad daylight at high school. Then some lass is all like, hey, I see you have a book there. And despite the fact that this woman is a complete stranger, Chad just fucking bursts out with, actually it's a murder weapon, look, I'll prove it, here's how it works, please think that this is cool and like me because the only times I've ever seen real tits are on 4chan image boards. And even stupider still, she totally goes for it. She's all like, oh my god, the way you just murdered that guy with a car made me wetter than the tears of the weeby trash watching this movie. Do you want to like Death Note and chill for like a whole montage? Because you got really lucky and just happened to reveal all this to literally the only single girl in a school of hundreds who just happens to be okay with this because, hey, guess what? I'm actually a total evil sociopath. A mad coincidence, right? What is this plot? What are these edgelord characters? I mean, I'll admit the show and manga had its fair share of a little edginess, but not like this. Not like this. This Mia lass could have actually been a really interesting and unique alternative take on the Amane Misa character. In many ways, she's more compelling in that she has more initiative and drive, and I actually do like this weird alternative world where she, spoiler warning, becomes the real driving antagonist of the piece. That would genuinely be great if she wasn't written so over the fucking top. I'm a fucking cheerleader, Chad. Nothing I've ever done has mattered. Ooh, she's not like other girls. God, she's so dark. I bet she's like a total punk rock chick and paints her nails black on weekends. Piss off, man. Go and write shit poetry on your fucking MySpace wall, will you? I mean, this woman is so batshit cartoony levels of villain that the second Chad's dad does a press conference saying he's going to catch the killer, fucking Pound Shop 2017 Taylor Swift here is just like, well, gotta murder him now, and is surprised when this causes a rift between her and her boyfriend. To be honest, I was kinda surprised too, judging by their prior character development. I half expected this discussion to go on as follows. Yeah, Chad, I'm gonna kill your dad, is that alright? What? What the fuck? No, it's not alright, he's me dad. Remember the other day when he said you were playing My Chemical Romance too loud? Give me that fucking pen. You'll notice I'm talking about these two a lot and only passingly mentioning the actual Death Note-y investigation stuff, and that's the core problem in general, really. This is the film. This boring emo lover's strife. Some of the Death Note stuff and the mystery is actually fairly decent, but it's not really the focus. Even if this wasn't an adaptation, I'd still think it was odd that they chose to make the compelling stuff background noise so fucking emo Degrassi could gan on in the foreground here. At least it's not this, I suppose.